Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Team Shazoo Rocket Smash Championship. We are in our final bracket here after 2 qualifiers and the wildcard play-in, and we are about to see our second round 1 game. We just saw Whompers reverse sweep who are from Turkey into the lower bracket, and now we're going to see Omnipotent V2 versus GMM here in our first round. We have an updated prize pool. If you want to contribute to the prize pool, it is ! prize pool in chat. We're up to $131.75. If you don't have any money spare, you can still contribute. Use the code SRSC1 in Matcherino, and that will contribute a free 50 cents into the prize pool. So go ahead and do that, please, just to fund the big prize pool that we're going to have for the winners later on. But O'Neill, let's get into this game. Omnipotent V2, they had a great run last week, but GMM, solid team.
Yeah, exactly. I think what we're going to have here is one of those slug matches like what Series 1. I think it's going to be the exact same here. Both teams are going to just go at it, and I know before the event started today we've had a sub in, I think, for Magix. He is subbed in for one of the, I think it was the Omnipotent guys. So we might see a little bit of a change in play style from what we saw in qualifiers, but I'm still expecting as good a team as what we saw then.
Yeah, but we'll see who gets through to the next round. Whoever wins this one, by the way, will be facing I'm Drunk. Hi. It's a great name. In the next round, our next round matches, we kind of. I was telling the guys to go, but they weren't going, and then Mercy joined back in. I was like, okay, cool. The next round lines up as follows. It's going to be Whompers versus Sauce, as we mentioned before. Bamboozlers versus Ooga Booga. And, of course, the winner of this versus I'm Drunk. Hi.
You just love saying that, don't you?
I love saying it. But we're not going to see that game. We are going to see the game of Who Asked Tho versus Ascending Legends. But we in our round number 2, Ascending Legends, fantastic team that we saw in the qualifier 2 last week. But we'll talk a bit more about them when we get to that. But of course, we'll focus on this one between Omnipotent and GMM. Omnipotent in blue, GMM in orange. We'll start this one out.
One thing I've noticed really early on in this game here, GMM, compared to last series, so much more like fashion and demos. And they got a shot here, and it's nearly goal. Mercy gets a lovely finish from the mug, passing into the middle there. And that's just epic way to start a series.
Yeah, not even a minute in, and they seem to be the dominating force already. Great infield pass. The defense just was not ready for it whatsoever. Great pass in to Mercy from Mug. And this team, we kind of cut the end of their series. It's a goal. Kickoff goal. My goodness, 2-0. Crowley will get credit for this kickoff.
I shouldn't be laughing there, but I just wouldn't expect. That's something I would do in ranked. So I just saw me there when I saw him. Unfortunately,
we've all done it. We've all done it.
Unfortunately, there probably, but that's 2-0 in the first game.
It is, and I mean, you can't really prepare for those kickoff goals. You've just got to try and battle it back now. Do Omnipotent. They'll try and play out of their own half, because the GMM have just been forcing this issue so much. And trying to slam this one home as much as possible. I mean, they're less than a minute in, they've already got 3 shots to the name. There's only the first shot for Omnipotent. It goes in favour of Magix. A minute in, you can definitely see GMM working so well as a team. The Omnipotent defense just aren't ready for any of this.
Yeah, I've been watching Magix quite a bit. The sub for today for Omnipotent. He's made a few little overcommits. I think he's got that first game nerves coming in as a sub, trying to kind of prove himself. But the team, I think, they're still doing a really good job. They get good rotations, and they were a bit unfortunate earlier on with one of their shots they had. Nice little pass down play, but they're coming out here nicely in defence, and I think as we start to get towards the middle of this game, everyone's just starting to settle a little bit. I say that, he's just about managed to recover that mistake there.
Trying to sneak that one in, get 3-0 up, not even 2 minutes into this game. Just shows you how much pressure GMM are putting on, and really the only way that Omnipotent are going to get out of their own half is getting some kind of booming clear, but they are trying to just work this methodically downfield, and they have done so to the backboard. Stephen trying to find his teammates in the middle, and now Magic's sub for today, like you said, O'Neill trying to dribble that one towards net, but the great defense and challenge from the GMM side puts that ball back squarely in the blue half. It's a good is a good sustained pressure now.
Exactly. They've kind of settled in. Magic's in particular. He's set getting the demolition. He's starting to create his pressure for his team here, and I think he's actually maybe leading the front line for them today. He's the one I keep seeing up at the top here.
Let's see if Omnipotent can get more than one shot in the next half of this game number 1. 2-0 up are still GMM, but both came in the first minute of gameplay. We've not really seen too much since. Burley actually dunks that one down to Morgan. He gets it into the top right corner. GMM, good pressure, 3-0.
Indeed, these were the guys that I said I think we're going to be dark horses of this tournament after hearing some things from other teams, and I could be right. They've come out here like a lightning bolt, and this is them already 3 up in this first game. What do Omnipotent have to do to get back into this?
Well, from my eyes, O'Neill, they just need to start winning some challenges in the midfield, because GMM are just having so much space to work their game, work their style of gameplay in the middle of the field. They're holding onto the ball a lot more, and it's all coming from the midfield space that Omnipotent are just handing them. But that's
an open net.
Great pass upfield from Stephen. Magic just manages to get on target, but bounces around the post and out. So no luck there for the Omnipotent side. Only their 3rd shot on target this game, and with a minute and a half to go, at least try and build some momentum for the rest of the series, at least for game number 2. But this GMM defense is stepping hell up.
Yeah, pretty strong. I will say that was the first mistake we saw from them. They were so lucky not to get punished for it, but they wasted about 30 seconds there, 45 seconds, just passing it back and forth from the defense, and Omnipotent just kind of let it happen. They didn't even try and go forwards. So I think they're just running the clock down here. They're kind of realising we've got a comfortable lead. Let's just seal this game. And Omnipotent, they've not really done anything to try and change it or do otherwise. Open net, that's 4-0. Like, where did the defense go?
Yeah, they've just really given up at this point. I mean, Bubbly was really the only man back there, as both Magix and Steven were way out of the play. Bubbly trying his best to just disrupt it on that side of the field, but awkward position, and the GMM attackers just all over him, able to work that to their will. 4-0 now.
From playing a little bit back in the old days, I definitely think this is a case of this game's gone, let's just start focusing on the next one, because I remember back when we were playing Shazoo, we had some games where we were just like, we've already lost this one, but let's just start focusing on the last 30 seconds of the game, get the pressure in then, and hopefully set a tone for the following game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's no reason to quite give up on the series just yet, but you still want to do your best, even though this game might be lost. You still want to try your best, even though you know that you're going to lose this game. But you might as well keep trying. Try and build some momentum. Try and work out this GMM side, because Omnipotent, they just have nothing on them.
They've got no answers at the moment.
Definitely, the textbook is open, but all the pages are blank. GMM are not giving anything away here in game number 1. 5-0 is the way it looks like it might end, unless Growly can get something over to Mug there for 6-0. It actually gets cleared away. But of course, this game has been over for a long time. 5-0 in favor of GMM, and the Dark Horses have started to rise and make their names known here in the final bracket of the National Championship.
Pretty convincing. I will say, I do think Omnipotent deliberately took the foot off the gas after that 3rd goal. I feel like they realised, right, we've made too many mistakes here, this one's gone. But the way they've done it is they've tried to switch off for this game so that they don't lose that kind of mentality of, like, we're just going to get stomped. But the only issue they have now is when they come into this next game, they need to come in guns blazing. Otherwise, they're just going to fall out of this series very quickly.
Yeah, because like you said, as soon as you get into a mentality of, okay, this game's gone, I'm just going to, mess about and not really care about this one. That even though you might just reset yourself for the next game, that does play an effect. You want to keep the momentum up as much as possible. You want to keep playing the best you can possibly play. You don't want to throw any points down the drain. So it'll be interesting to see how Omnipotent come out of the gates here in game number 2, and if GMM just keep up their relentless aggression and their ruthless defense as well.
Yeah, I will say GMM, they have, like you said, been relentless, and the pressure they've been putting out has currently been unanswered. Now we'll find out in this game whether tides are going to start turning, or if it's just set the tone for what's going to be potentially a quick series. Hopefully not. We love the big ones, but we never know.
Yeah, well, it's all still to find out here as we start game number 2, and picking up where they left off is GMM. A lot of pressure towards the blue net straight away. Might not get a goal as quickly as they did in game number 1 with just less than 40 seconds into that one, and they at least get a couple of shots towards net, and none registered actually, but they were at least threatening within the first 30 seconds.
And I see here GMM early on again, getting the pressure on the bumps here. It didn't quite come to anything this time, but I'm enjoying... I thought that was a goal. I thought I got it there.
But this might be a counter-attack from the GMM side.
It's a save again. Lovely save.
Growly tried to get it onto the backboard, but it was dunked away, and my Mug tries his best. But the counter-attack from Steven. This is back and forth now, O'Neill, and it looks like Omnipotent are starting to come back, and they start to find their feet towards net. It will go. Mercy save to the corner, but this is a good
mistake. It's an open net. Can he get back in time?
So crucial. He had to hit that one. He left it open, but luckily enough, Magix was there to make the save.
Much better game already from Omnipotent. That was such end-to-end, on the goal line, kind of how is that not in kind of moments. But this is what we want to see. These guys, I just love seeing when teams recognise the mistakes and learn from them. And it seems already that they realised they were just giving the ball away in the first game and not doing anything about it. They've stepped up already, and we have a game on our hands.
That week to do indeed. O'Neill and Steven trying to counter-attack from his own half. Straight into the hands of Mug though, but now Bubbly starts to step up, trying to dunk that one down to Magix. He's there. The defense isn't ready for it, and it's 1-0.
Perfect. Magix is stepping up this game here. Bubbly with a lovely double. Couldn't quite get the clear there, and Magix was just in the position, unanswered challenge, and it's a goal.
Yeah, and it was Growly who got that touch off the backboard and actually baited out his own teammate. Mercy was ready to save that one away. But as soon as Growly touched it, Mercy backflips, tries to go back into the defensive position, but he's already out of the play, and it leaves it wide open for Magix to work his magic and get the first goal on the board in this series for Omnipotent V2.
I'm enjoying seeing the difference in how Omnipotent are playing here. The one wee quirk that I've noticed already in this game is they've been a lot more aggressive, but the rotations back haven't changed, which means they're leaving a couple of seconds where GMM, if they wanted, could get a counter-attack. So I wanted to see them tighten that up, because right now they're just rotating a little bit too slowly to get back.
Demoed the backline there. Steven was trying to go for the dunk across as 2 men were in goal, but just a little bit off target, a little bit off rhythm, rather. Just a bit slow to that one. It does leave Omnipotent up here in the orange half with some kind of momentum, some kind of pressure, but now GMM on the counter-attack. 2 players in net. Bubbly will get credit for the
double,
save.
nice. Follow-up, open net, go!
What an upfield pass! Great team play from Omnipotent V2.
It's exactly what I wanted to see. Magic, he's obviously played with these guys quite a lot, because he's just fitting in that striker role perfectly. That's twice he's been in the position, and Steven, give him his due. That was a good double touch to get it over the top of the defence there and just leave the open net for Magic.
Lovely stuff, and we were kind of counting Omnipotent down and out after that first game. They have certainly showed that they are here to play. They have stepped up. I mean, it's only their first game of the day. This is still round 1. No one has, neither of these teams had played anyone before this matchup. So coming in a little bit colder on Omnipotent, but they've certainly stepped their game up here in game number 2. And now it's GMM on the back foot. They've not been able to get anything going. They've really not been the aggressive team we expected them to. There goes Mercy over the top though, out to Growly. Great defense from Magix to save that one to the backboard, but it's still in a very dangerous spot. Plays it to the backboard, plays it to himself, and brings it to a 1-goal game.
I don't think he realised that was going off the post, because he went all the way to the front and then he thought that was already going to be an easy clear. It's a weird one there. Caught him by surprise, caught me by surprise at the same time. But as you were saying as well, like GMM haven't been quite as much in the game. I think Omnipotent have sussed out one of their plays already, and that's why we're a bit more even, because in game 1 GMM done about so many demos and so many bashes, and that's a lovely flick. It's a goal!
Oh!
Magic, that's a hat-trick.
Lovely little dribble from Magix. Mercy gets taken out of the play, and Mughead just in such a weird position, such an awful position, and there's nothing he can do about that. Magix could have put it anywhere in that net, and he wouldn't have been able to save it away, so well done from him. And it brings it back to a 2-goal lead with just over a minute to go. Talked about how GMM just haven't been able to hold the possession, and it really seems they've been losing the midfield quite a bit, but now they hold it here. Mercy, awkward positioning, and these positioning plays from GMM are getting exploited now by Omnipotent. Their position just hasn't been up to scratch, and Omnipotent are really taking that away from them and making them pay for it.
It was a double. It's a follow-up, so it's just missed it wide here. Muggs trying to get it back in the centre, but nobody's there. They've had to rotate. Nice little bash there though, and he managed to keep it in, but Bubbly now gets long to clear, and I think that's the issue we've had here. GMM have not adapted from game one. They've just thought, oh, we can still just stay up really high as a third man, and there's been quite a few times this game the third man has just been cleared right over the top, and they've just lost all pressure.
Survive, adapt, overcome is the name of the game, and GMM have not been playing to Bear Grylls as Ro16 gets the pass into the middle to try and make it 4-1 and out of reach, but to be honest, it has been out of reach ever since that third goal went in for Omnipotent.
To get this here,
get one for the road to try and clear it up for a potential kickoff goal, but it will drop to the floor on the Omnipotent V2. Get one on the board, and we're tied up at 1 game apiece.
Much better game, I think, there. They needed to come out of that because, like we said, first game, preserve the mind, kind of make sure we don't just accept defeat before we're defeated. In game 2, they come out like we wanted to, with a fire in their heart. They wanted to win this. They came out and they adapted, which is the most important thing. GMM never, and as we can see here now, we've got a series on our hands.
That we do, Neil, and after that 5-0 stomping that GMM put on in game number 1, it's just really been a comedy of errors. Their positioning has been flawed, and Omnipotent have just been able to work their play around that strange positioning that they've had. And they've just not been able to get anything going downfield because the Omnipotent defense has started stepping up, and like you said, figuring out their plays, reading what they've been doing, and they've been setting up in the defense quite well.
Exactly. I was wondering what was going down there. The server went down for me, but I think we just got ahead of me there.
Try smooth transition. We'll try to come in for that smooth landing. But, but I mean, we had this issue last week as well with servers going down and all that. But hey, it's not our fault. It's Psyonix's fault. But hey, we're ready to go for game number 3. I've written game number 2 for some reason. But it is indeed game number 3. One on the board for each team. First shot for Steven, and Omnipotent coming out of the gates, all guns a-blazing. A couple of shots go in their favour. Actually, one will be registered, but no goal to show for it after the first 15 seconds. And you can really tell that on the Omnipotent, after going down 5-0 in that first game, they want to be a little bit more aggressive. But my, oh my, Bubbly just completely misses that one, and it bounces in.
Again, I think these early rounds, people aren't quite warmed up. We've seen a few little mistakes like that today, and he's the latest to fall victim to it, I'm afraid.
Oh, dearie me. 30 seconds in, we're talking about how good Omnipotent were looking, trying to be the more aggressive than GMM were putting up, but that big whiff from Bubbly has just exposed one of their weaknesses, and now GMM looking to capitalise on that and just try and force a couple of mistakes on that back line. Browley was going for the net there, but
it's a double. It's missed both. It's an open net.
Mistakes on both sides of the ball by the looks of things for both teams. And as that one comes over the top, Magix just misses. Actually, well, he gets the touch, but he doesn't get enough of a redirect as it bounces in. Oh, Steven. Oh, I think he was trying to.
I think he was going for a bash there as well as getting the touch.
Yeah, it looked like he was going for try to get a flip reset and do some kind of crazy play. But it doesn't work out for him, and he looks like it might have saved his teammate's shot.
I'm enjoying seeing the play here. Steven, although he's sitting on the bottom of his team here, he's actually creating a lot of pressure in terms of just making the opposition do something. And sometimes it's what you want to do. You don't want them to just be casual get to do with the one, even if you're maybe not getting all the shots, all the saves, all the goals. If you're creating pressure on the other team, that can be all you have to do in your team to help get the win and get the goal.
Could be all that's needed. And of course, Omnipotent wanting to try and put a little bit more pressure onto this orange net. Magix is there for the pass from Bubbly. Steven with a bit of a whiff there, but they at least control the midfield, and actually that one's going to roll all the way back and let midfield
made a mistake,
go. They should have held that ball in the midfield, half rotated through the midsection of the field. But my oh my, it's they just again just a big mistake, and they let it go back into their own half.
Definitely. I saw Bubbly's idea, letting it roll back and then maybe going high with it, but I think he was in two minds of whether to pass it or go himself, and he just put it in the middle and made the big mistake. But they got away with it. Steven managed to get the touch here. Mercy misses again. There's quite a lot of mistakes happening in this. Everybody's got a bit of nerves after this equalising match there.
Yeah, no one really wants to make too many mistakes here, but that's a lovely pass from Growly up to Mercy. But
Steven had no answer there, and he was just
he really didn't. And Mercy gets demoed for his troubles as well, but out by Magix. But nothing doing from GMM, and these upfield passes, like you said, Steven was just completely caught off guard by that passing play. So this omnipotent defense just need to watch for that. They need to start reading these passes a little bit more. But you can see GMM can just bust them at any time, any place.
And I think this is where GMM are so comfortable. When they're in the lead, they can force their aggression, where there's demos or bumps. They love to do that kind of play. We saw it in Game 1. Game 2, they get caught off and it just wasn't working for them. But I think that's because they were also trying to chase the game, and they couldn't do both, and they ended up just doing the wrong thing. But here, back in the lead, they're getting back into the stride they were in Game 1 in terms of how to be aggressive. And it's just become a lot more even in this game now.
And it has, but you can tell that really for the last 20-30 seconds, GMM have had a bit more possession in the blue half, and Omnipotent are just letting them have that reign. They are still 1-0 up in this game, our GMM, so really Omnipotent want to try and move that ball upfield. I mean, we were talking about the mistake that Bubbly was letting that ball roll all the way back, and they should have held the midfield. You saw GMM just completely shift their line up to the middle and try and put a lot of pressure on. So you know if you give them space, they're going to choke you in your own half. So you need to start getting out of your own half a little bit more. Now with coming up for 30 seconds, I should say, it's all still to play for. Passes in the middle to Bubbly will go high. Anyone up for the second attempt? No, they will not. Just to the side by the GMM defense, and now with 20 seconds left.
It's a pass, but he's just about got away with it.
It is, but they now need to start working this really deep in orange territory. They can't play out of their own back half now. Bubbly towards the middle. Magix is there. Oh, he had the shot on net, but it just goes wide. With 5 seconds to go, it looks like GMM are going to go on to match point with a 1-0 game against Omnipotent. Actually, it'll be 2-0 off the own goal, but it won't matter either way. GMM take home victory here in Game 3.
They do. And I think the reason this is obviously GMM, they've slightly adapted, but I also think Omnipotent look to have changed their transitions and how they move the pitch. Because in that game there, Magix was nowhere. The game before, he scored every goal he scored, but I don't think I saw him that much up front here, and I think that's partially because the way the team's rotating, Steven and they're all trying to get more on the play up front, and it's causing Magix to have to sit back a little bit more, maybe out of his comfort zones for how he usually plays. And it's just, I think personally for them, he needs to be further forward because he's their goal scorer.
Absolutely, couldn't agree with you more. And I think entirely for the whole team of Omnipotent, they just need to play a higher line. They can't play this passive style that they have been playing, especially in the middle of the field, because as we saw, as Bubbly was letting that ball roll back into his own half, all 3 players from GMM were just coming all the way upfield trying to aggress. It was just like the cavalry is coming over the hill, and there's nothing we can do here. So trying to hold the middle of the field is going to be so key for Omnipotent if they want to force game number 5 and stay in this upper bracket. But of course, GMM playing phenomenally well, and they are 1 game away from progressing to go and face I'm Drunk. Hi.
Plus, say it. You can't get over it.
I do. I really do. We've got some great team names throughout the qualifiers and throughout today as well. We've had throughout this Rocket Smash Championship. But of course, we will start game number 4 on the front foot are Omnipotent. Just as they were starting game number 3, they were coming out of the gates all guns a-blazing, but they couldn't show any goals for it in the last game. Can they get one here within the first 30 seconds? It seems like they might not.
Yes, it's a bit of a shakier start here for both teams. Nobody's fully committing, although they're saying that Omnipotent's the one that have all the ball control so far, but they're just not really being able to do anything with it yet. And that's a demo, important demo for the last man. Can they make anything from it? Nice little
pass goes into the middle. There's Mug to try and send it home, but the defense does eventually recover. They're coming up for a minute in. Both teams looking to be
fake.
Good fake there by Steven. At least keeps possession, but now Mercy able to win that 50-50. Last man there. No one's there. Steven with the clutch save right at the end. Mercy had all day to shoot that one, but Steven rushing in for the final save. This one's very good, tentative as Mercy goes over the top. GMM, my oh my, after that first 15 seconds of being completely pressured, Omnipotent have just receded, and GMM are having all the shots right now.
And as you said as well, Omnipotent had an open net, but Magic's just, as he cleared it, just didn't think if he put it on target he might get a goal. He just wanted it in a corner, and that was it's a fake, it's a double touch. What a goal!
Oh my goodness!
Growly, brilliant goal.
What a play by Growly. Mug sets him up for it, and Magix and Steven can only watch what Growly does with that. Bangs it into the ground. They think they're going for net. No. I will double touch this one myself. Off the floor and into the goal. 1-0 GMM.
He got the lovely fake with the first part, but I don't think he even meant to touch it the second time round, but it worked out for him, so he is not going to complain whatsoever.
A goal's a goal, whatever way you look at it, and GMM have one on the board, and that is, well, it was the difference maker in game number 3. 1-0 up for all of it, and then just that one goal at the end. We won't really count that one, we'll call it a 1-0 game, but this is, it was, like we said, it was the difference in game number 3. Could it be the difference here in game number 4 as well to send them on to the next round in the upper bracket and send on the we're saying Omnipotent and Omnipotent like two different ways.
I know. I think
I'm getting confused which way we're trying to say it.
I think it's
I'll say it.
We never say things the same ways.
No, we don't. Our broadcaster track to manager is going with Omnipotent.
Yeah, well, that's the answer. That's what we have to say.
Yeah, he speaks the Queen's English apparently. So we're Scottish. We just think slightly differently. Oh great! Oh my goodness! Growly with a great touchdown out of nowhere. This pass up from Mercy, and Growly slams it home for 2-0.
Oh, see, for me, it's been relatively quiet this series, but this game, where the team can win it and close it out, he's showed up big with 2 huge goals so far. Oh, kick-off mistake, but he gets an important little touch there on the man who got through on the challenge. And that's him back up the pitch on the Omnipotent side.
You can see there, Steven, as that ball was coming towards him, he was just caught flat-footed. I think he was setting up for it, but from my angle, I was looking from the orange half of the field from a player. It looked like he was way out of position, and he was just caught a bit flat-footed. And the hesitation from Omnipotent has just been something that's really caught them out. There've been times where teams are
it's a shot on target.
Committed. That one's wide open. Really going for a hat trick straight away. But he just misses on the wide open net. But this on the Omnipotent side, the hesitation, the double commits, it's really been their downfall. But that is indeed lovely placement as Steven gets it in from Magix, brings it within 1.
The bounce was a little bit off to try and get to, but even made the most of it. Put it in the right hand corner, absolutely beautiful.
Lovely played by Omnipotent. But now they have to turn that around in the next minute and a half or so, get another one on the board to at least force overtime and potentially take this one within your regulation and force game number 5. But GMM are not going to let them go so easy. They want that 2-goal lead once again. Here comes Mug, trying to put a lot of pressure on Steven. Will leave that for the moment. Growly, no boost, but he puts it in play for Mercy. Bubbly with a block right at the end. Everyone clumped together from Omnipotent, but no one aggressing from GMM. That could have been a prime opportunity to go 3-1 up and push this game potentially out of reach, but no one with boost. But of course, they will try from their backline. These downfield passes have been absolutely fantastic. They get a staple for GMM, and they're at least keep pressure on for the moment and stop Omnipotent getting in their own half.
Yeah, they've been definitely stepping up this game, and Omnipotent are struggling at the back here, definitely, but they're just about managing it. It's just where they can get a clean enough touch to break out like they're doing right here. 3-on-1. That's a shot on top corner.
Just off the crossbar and down and out. We saw that happen in the last series where it eventually was scored by Cynical, but that one you should have been following up on. 20 seconds left, or else Omnipotent will be going down to the lower bracket. They need something to happen within the next 10 seconds. Will it happen here? Bubbly puts it to the corner. Mercy with the clear. Steven towards net. Bubbly is there with boost. Can't send it home. Off the crossbar it will go. Magic's with a turnaround, but they at least keep it in orange territory. Bubbly keeps it up, stops it from hitting the floor, onto the wall, and Growly will clear this. Steven can't get to it in time, and GMM will take this series 3-1.
Again, a brilliant series here. It didn't go quite to the 5 games I was expecting, but regardless, the matches that we did play out were super close. Omni, a bit unlucky, but I definitely think GMM, with how they started the series and how they adapted into the series, I definitely think they deserved it.
Definitely so. And after that absolutely dominating performance in game number 1, I wasn't too sure about them going into game or coming out of game number 2, I should say, after they were a little bit lackadaisical throughout that series, throughout that game number 2. But Omnipotent just kind of collapsed, and you can see GMM were the stronger team at the end. They were working well together as a team, and like I said, those downfield passing plays really caught the defense off guard so many times, and that's going to be a powerful tool for GMM going forward.
And even in the losers bracket here for Omnipotent, how they played the first series, they were nowhere. Like the first match, sorry, they were absolutely nowhere. But how they adapted in, and even at the end, they even get a goal. They were just so much more aggressive that it bodes well for them in the losers bracket. If they can keep it up, they might be able to push further through.
Yeah, well, they'll be going down to the losers bracket, as you said, to play Vector Z in that lower bracket. We ourselves will be moving on to round 2 of the winners bracket. Like we said earlier, we are going to be seeing Who Has Though versus Ascending Legends, one of the breakout stars from the qualifier last week. Who's going to take that one? We'll find out after the break.